What's up, Wayne Barron here with DarkFix.net, and we are inside Adobe Edge Animate, and we're going to be creating a menu. Now, I've done several menus before in the past, and you got your typical menu, you got your mouse over and your mouse out, which does the following, except that it's not really elegant, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for something elegant. This right here says it's too fast. It's not eye candy. And so that's what we want. We want an elegant eye candy. And so what I mean by this is, let's take a look at number 3 here. We take our mouse and it eases in very elegant into our mouse over, and then our mouse out is really elegant as it mouses out. So it's very slow. And so that's what we want to do. We don't want it to be fast like them. We want it to be really slow. So that's what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First thing, let's go ahead and draw out our menu holder. So let's name this menu holder. And let's go ahead and add in our buttons. Well, we're going to do 3 buttons. So let's go ahead and change its color just a little bit. Okay, and this is our button. So first thing we want to do is come down here and make it a solid. And that way we've got a border going around it. Let's go ahead and move it right over here to the edge. Alright, now let's duplicate it. So let's Control C and Control V or Command C, Command V on a Mac, and do that twice. Drag it to the end, drag it to the end, and then move this one down. Okay, so now that is our 3 buttons that we're going to do. We can go all the way across, but I'm just going to do 3 of them here. So now the next thing that we want to do is let's go ahead and duplicate this 3 more times. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So let's go ahead and put this one right here and put this one right here. Okay, so we've got our main button. So this is our button 1, and this right here is our button 1, which is our top button. This right here is our button 2, and then this is our button 3. So let's go ahead and do button 3, and then button 2. So now let's drag this down to here. Okay, so what we got here is that we've got our main button itself. Then we've got our over button, which is going to be used to click, put all of our actions on. So this right here is so forth. So now let's go ahead and so we can keep track of our colors. Let's just make it a slightly different color than the other ones. Do the same thing to that one, and the same thing to that one. So now we know that each one of these are our top buttons, and then these right here are our bottom buttons. So now what we want to do here is that we want to hide our top buttons, and then let's come over here and let's add in some text. So this is going to be 1, and we got our pixel set at 15 for the size, and then let's come over here and let's do 2, and then our last one, which is 3. Okay, so let's drag this is our text 1, our text 2, and our text 3. So let's drag this one down to here and drop it on top of the butt 1. Do the same thing here with butt 2, same thing here with button 3. Okay, so now let's go ahead and show these, and then we're going to take each one of these guys and we're going to drop its opacity down to 0. Okay, now the reason why we've got the top on our button here is that if we did not have the top, then whenever we would mouse over it and we would mouse over the text, it would change our mouse over action, so that whenever we mouse over the button, it would go over to its mouse over action, and then once we would go over the text, it would change it. It would almost redo the animation again. So having a layer over the button that hides all elements up underneath that button allows you to move the mouse all over without it affecting anything, regardless of what your mouse rolls over. Okay, so now what we want to do is let's go ahead and add in a stop. And I hate this extra step that you got to do to make it stop. Okay, so let's come over to here, and so what we want to do is that we want to choose our button, our but one. So that's what we're going to change our color, because our button, as you can remember, we've got it set to 0 opacity, so we're not going to be able to see its color change. So we're going to have to do it with the button, the but, and so the but 1, but 2, and but 3. So let's go ahead and do the first one. Drag this out to. We want our transition to last a long time, so we're going to start it at 1/4 of a second and run it all the way to 3/4 of a second. So that's about how long that we're going to allow our transition to last. So let's go ahead and drag this down to here. Okay. Now let's come over to a 1, and then let's drag it out to 3/4, and then we want to bring it back to the original, which is here. Okay, so it's going to the transition is going to last for 3/4 of a second for each one of these. Let's go ahead and just move this one over. Okay. Okay, so now let's go ahead and copy our stop action and stop it there. Now let's come over here and let's create a label. This is going to be our 1 in. Let's come over to here, and we're going to do this one as 1 out. So now whenever we come over here to our button 1, this is where we're going to put our actions at. We bring it open, we're going to do our mouse over, playback, play from, stage, and then we're going to do 1 in, copy this, and then we're going to come over to mouse out, and we're going to do 1 out. So 1 in and 1 out. Now whenever we run it, see how elegant the transition is. It's very subtle and very smooth. And so then we're going to do that to the last 2. So we're going to come back over here. We're going to do a label for 2 in. So now we got our smooth transition for each one of them, and we can move the mouse all over and it's not going to change it. Okay, and as you can see, whenever we run our mouse over it, it changes back without us coming out. And what's caused that is that we need to put a stop between each one of these. So we put a stop there, 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 and there. And then whenever we come over here, refresh, now it's going to stay that. We can move the mouse all inside of it, move it out, and the transition is very smooth, very elegant. It's not fast, and if you need it to go slower, I mean, you can make it slower. You can drag these out. come over here. You can change this any way that you want it to make. So we got that transition, which takes that long. That one right there takes just a little bit longer. So you can make these transitions last as long as you need them to last, or make them as short as you want them to be. So anyway, you can have an elegant look and feel to your menu. Alright, Wayne Barron here with darkeffects.net inside of Adobe Edge Animate. Y'all have a good one now. Bye bye.